All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and also to their elders, the men that taught them. I pray the Lord have peace, blessings, and mercy upon the households of the hopeful elect. This is the brother Shema Wan from the Great Millstone Houston Church. And today I want to go into a lesson in a reaction from this video that I just saw, going to them mentioning these reports about UFOs and how they really don't know what they are. They don't know what's inside of them. They can't explain it. But according to the scriptures, we have understanding on what these so-called UFOs are. So I just want to touch on that briefly. So I'll play this lesson and I'll get a few, or I'll play this video, then I'll get a few precepts. So yeah, here we go.
UFOs are back in the headlines talking about the mystery which has baffled Americans for a long time. Are UFOs real? What does the American government know about them? What do we know? What they have told us? Is there more? The Pentagon released its annual UFO report, or rather unidentified aerial phenomena report, which says that there are over a dozen such mysterious sightings which remain unexplained, leaving room for the tantalizing questions, are we truly alone? Here's more.
Hollywood has long fired our imaginations, portraying mysterious flying objects, alien invasions, and advanced extraterrestrial civilizations in countless movies and series. These narratives have sparked an enduring curiosity. Are we alone in the universe? The Pentagon's newly released UFO report adds to the mystery, keeping the question alive with intriguing findings. The report calls them unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP instead of UFO. But is the US government revealing the entire truth?
In a time of heightened distrust of our government institutions, I believe more transparency is not only needed, but is possible. And obviously we can respect national security limits, but we also have to provide our constituents with the information and oversight that they have tasked us for.
The U.S. government's annual report on UAPs mentions 757 reported UAP sightings from May 2023 to June 2024. Most were attributed to drones, balloons, or natural phenomena, but about 24 remain unexplained, defying easy categorization.
Now, we shouldn't prejudge what they might be. I'm certainly not going to. We need evidence. But when we are detecting things and we know that we don't understand them, and this is worth investigating.
Yet the unexplained UAPs are still curiously located around sensitive areas, particularly nuclear sites, sparking suspicion. If not aliens, what or who is behind these anomalies? The Pentagon remains tight-lipped, continuing its investigations.
Our best tool for unlocking the mystery of UAP is science, but we cannot conduct a proper inquiry if the stigma is so overwhelming that just daring to be part of a NASA research team elicits such a vitriolic response. Therefore, one of the most important actions that can be taken relative to exposing the truth of UAP is to combat the stigma.
As the mystery deepens, the public fascination with UFOs only grows. This report offers no definitive answers, but keeps the age-old question alive. Is there something or someone out there? Bureau Report, Beyond Wellness One.
So yeah, that's that. So, it sparks a question. Are we out here alone? Who and what is it? Hold on one second. Let me clean this. That's a part of the Lord revealing those mysteries, to us. We're not baffled. We're not guessing about what it is or what it might be. The Lord gave us the spirit to actually understand what it is, because it's all in the scriptures. It's all in the Bible. Our primary source to go to, for any information, dealing with what takes place on this earth, the things that we're going to encounter. Everything is written in the scriptures. But the thing is, not everybody has the correct understanding. even the talks of UFOs, yes, that's in the scriptures. So let's get into it. Let me start with this. Hold up 1 second. I'll get this in Psalms, Psalms chapter 68 and verse 17. It says, the chariots of God, the chariots of the Most High. Okay, now with that word chariot, you know, you could think about ancient times, you know, the chariot that pulls the horse. I mean, the horses that pull the chariots, the men riding upon the chariots, the horsemen, so to speak. You know, that's like, that would be the chariots that we operate with. But this is talking about the chariots of the Most High. Okay, so that word chariot, looking up that word in the blue letter, it says H7393, a vehicle. Okay, so it's a vehicle. So the vehicles or the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. That's what is inside those vehicles operating them. Not the chariots of men, the chariots of the Most High. The Lord has his own way of you know, transportation. You know, the heavenly vehicles. The Lord has that. So inside of them, there are angels. It says the Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. So again, Psalms 68 and 17, the chariots of the Most High, Yahweh, are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. I'll just get a few more precepts. Let's get, matter of fact, let me jump up. Verse 13, it says, though ye have lion among the pots, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove, covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. At the beginning, how it says, though ye have lain among the pots, that goes into, you know, us being currently at the bottom. You know, us being at the bottom and not the top. But soon it will change, because it says, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove, covered with silver, as her feathers with yellow gold. The Lord is finna you know, change our life around from being at the bottom and, you know, to having the ability to, you know, operate inside of these heavenly vehicles. You know, having that being given unto us, the Lord is going to make that change, where now is not going to be no such thing as being at the bottom. You know, it's going to be at the top. But just going into how it says, as a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. You know, a dove really doesn't have feathers like that, silver and gold and this and that. Is describing the heavenly vehicles as we, you know, got in verse, what was that, 17. But let me get another precept. This is, let me see. This is 2 Kings chapter 2. See, just get straight to the point. I'll read this. 2 Kings chapter 2 and 11. It says, and it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So it mentions you seeing, you know, chariots of fire, horses of fire, and going into part of them, Elijah and Elisha. But it says, so from them chariots, Elisha went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So the vehicles of the Most High was able to take him up into the heaven. You know, so what happened? How they say he got beamed up, you know, or that retractor beam, you know, made him go up into the heavens, entering into that ship, those chariots, what this world calls a UFO, a according to the scriptures, we have understanding where we could piece the dots together, where it, you know, is simple to understand if the Lord reveals it to you. So it says, verse 12, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariots of Israel. The chariots of Israel, showing you that, yeah, hey, one day we're going to have access to those chariots, as we read in Psalms, the 68th chapter. So it says, the chariots of Israel and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he looked down, or Salaki, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. You know, that was an amazing event that took place. The Lord coming and calling him up into the heavens. We can read about that happening to Yahushua. Let me get that. Let me get it. The same thing took place with Yahushua. Let me see. This is Acts. This is, hold up 1 second. Acts chapter 1 in verse 11, it says, now let me start at verse 10 or verse 9. In the heading says the ascension. Acts 1:9, it says, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, just like Elijah, and a cloud removed him out of their sight. And that's the thing, you know, reading these scriptures, some of these things are, you know, it's a mystery. So that's why you have different words, you know, that describe the same thing. Chariots, you got the clouds, a pillar of fire, you know, it's a few more, but it escapes my mind right now. A whirlwind. Yeah, that's just a few off top, but it goes into let me keep reading. So it says, and a cloud received him out of their sight, going into the chariots. Okay, verse 10, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, going into two angels, because we just read how the chariots, you know, are operated by the angels. In verse 11, it says, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So the Lord was received up into the heavens by a cloud, also known as a chariot. So the same way the Lord was taken up by a chariot, that's the same way the Lord is going to return, by way of a chariot. The scriptures tell us, you know, in Isaiah the 19th chapter, let me get it. The Lord is going to be upon it, that vehicle, just a heavenly vehicle, not a UFO. Isaiah 19:1, it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, also known as a chariot, and he shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So again, just focusing on the point of the chariots. Let's get some more precepts. Should I go all the way back? This is Exodus chapter 13 and verse 21. It says, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. So that was the Lord, you know, being with us by way of the chariots, giving light unto us while we were, you know, leaving Egypt. He provided, you know, damn near like they didn't have no street lights. Wasn't no street lights back in those times, but the Lord provided, you know, us to be able to see our way by way of a chariot. So in the daytime, it was a pillar of cloud. And two, the chariots can cloak themselves. You know, they can blend in and disguise themselves with the clouds. But it's talking about the literal chariot. It says to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light, to go by day and night. So basically the Lord had it lit up where we could see, you know, the direction that we were going. And hearing the apostles go into it, it was like the headlights, so to speak, just like how vehicles have headlights and airplanes and, you know, the things that we could see on this side made by man. Shit, the way that the Lord has his technology and his ways of transportation, you know, they got the same thing. It's not so far-fetched where, man, the Lord wouldn't do it like that. Come on, man. So it says, let me get another one. Let me go to the account with Elisha. 2 Kings, the 6th chapter. Hold up. Let me go to it. Because it mentioned the fire, you know, pillar of fire and such like that. This is 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse. Let me see where I'm gonna start. This is 2 Kings chapter 6. No, that's not what I want. Hold on. Let me see where I want to start. All right, 2 Kings 6, and I'll start. It's all good. I'll start at verse 13. I'll start at verse 11. Just a little context. It says, 2 Kings 6 and 11, it says, therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. And he called his servant and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? Because it's like every plot he had, it was exposed, you know, due to the prophet Elisha. You know, they knew the move he would make due to, you know, that being revealed unto Elisha. The next verse explains it, and it says, and one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. You know, and that just shows you how far out the Lord is. You know, these other nations could be having their little secret councils, you know, to come up against us. But some of the things that, you know, we be prophesying and saying is some of them same things that they be speaking amongst themselves in their little secret sessions. You know, so it's like the same thing. You know, don't for one second think that, you know, these people are just at ease right now, like the elites that be. No, sir. The same things take place, you know, in these very days. It shows you the Lord is still active, man. You know, the Lord didn't change. He's still how he was in the past. Hey, some of the same things happen still in this very day. Verse 13, and he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed about the city. So he pulled up and showing you, he pulled up in his chariots with his horses, right? The chariots of men, the average horse and buggy, that type of chariot, right? But the difference is, let's keep reading. Verse 15, it says, and when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And the servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? So getting up and seeing, basically it's like, damn, these niggas invaded us. They pulled up on us. You know, it's a lot of them. What are we going to do? Verse 16, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha wasn't talking about the company of prophets that were with him, you know, the men you could head count, No, he's talking about something different. He's talking about the help from the heavens. Okay. Verse 16. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and beheld, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. You know, so these horses and chariots of fire aren't the same horses and chariots that the king of Syria sent to pull up on, you know, these men. These horses and chariots of fire are what we just read in Psalms, the 86th chapter. I mean, the 68th chapter. You know, the chariots of the Most High. That's what that was. Or the chariots of Israel, as we read in 2 Kings, the 2nd chapter. Okay? That's what it is. And showing you they could be all around, but if the Lord wants you to see it, he'll open your eyes to see it. You know? If not, you'll never know. But the scriptures tell us those that fear the Lord, the angels are encamped around them. So always, you know, they're always here. A lot of times you just don't see them. Let me get one or two more while I have time. Let me see. This is Psalms chapter 104 in verse 3. It says, who layeth the beams in his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. So the clouds, his chariots, you know, this is interchangeable. Whenever you see a cloud or a chariot, it's all referring to, in its right context, you know, the heavenly vehicles. And it says, who maketh his angel spirits his ministers of flaming fire. So yeah, man, let's get another one. Isaiah chapter 26 in verse 20. It says, come my people, enter thou into thy chambers. That's another word for another word, chambers, also, you know, synonymous for the heavenly vehicles. It says, and shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be passed over. Going into whenever the Lord is going to judge this place, the time of destruction. See, the only way to escape and be safe is how it said, come my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and being inside of that chariot, being inside of the Lord's heavenly vehicles, you know, so you could, you know, be exempt from the judgment that's coming. Yes, a spaceship. Just like Noah and his family was inside of that literal ship, that ark, you know, whenever the flood came and, you know, destroyed the earth and the people upon it. It's gonna be the same thing, but, you know, a far greater sight to see. The Lord is gonna allow his UFOs, how these people say, unidentified flying objects. No, the Lord is gonna allow his chariots, you know, to gather his elect, as Yahweh Shai made mention in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 30. You know, to gather the elect from the four winds of the earth. How? By way of a chariot. I'll get a few more. Isaiah 66. Going into the Lord's return again. Isaiah 66 and 15, it says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind. So going into the destruction we just read in Isaiah 26, how it said, enter thou into thy chambers, you know, hide thyself for a little moment till the destruction be past, roughly paraphrasing. So it mentions, yeah, that destruction is coming, that nuclear fire is going to take place. But also going into, you know, Isaiah 66 and 15, this is how the Lord is going to make his return, by way of a chariot. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. But going into the chariots again, that's how Yahweh Shai is coming back. It says, let me see what else. Oh, let me get this real quick in Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. And just going into the video that I played before the lesson started, you know, what's in these things? You know, what are they? Are we on this earth alone? No. We're not dismayed by it. We understand those are the heavenly vehicles and the angels are inside operating. That's it, simple and plain. But yeah, I'll end it there, man. There's a lot of precepts that got that speak about the chariots. But I'll end it right there. Hold up. Let me get this, the last one I'll get. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 2, straight to the point. It says, and then it happened that through all the city, for a space almost of 40 days, there were seen horsemen running in the air. Horsemen running in the air, in cloth of gold, and armed with lances, like a band of soldiers. Now, what is that talking about? The chariots. Going into the chariots, man, whenever it was a time where the Lord, you know, delivered us from Antiochus. Whenever we were under attack going to battle, the Lord came through. You know, the Lord came through and allowed the chariots to be seen for, how it said, for almost, you know, a space of 40 days, man. So it says, in troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another, with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes, and drawing of swords, and casting of darts, and glittering of golden ornaments, and harness of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that the Salakia, hold up. It says, verse 4, wherefore every man prayed that apparition might turn to good. And now I'll end it right there. Let me get this word real quick. That word apparition goes into an unusual or unexpected sight, a phenomenon. And that's exactly what it was. You know, the Lord opened their eyes to see it, to see the chariots, you know, that close in action. So yeah, it ain't no UFO, unidentified flying object. No, it's the chariots of the Most High, or the chariots of Israel. Okay? So I'll end it there. I pray this was edifying to the Lord's elect. Until the next time, I say shalom.